When she walked in and saw her best friend in our bed, everything went silent. No shouting, no crashing plates, no wild fury. Just that awful stillness, heavy enough to crush the air out of the room. Her eyes met mine, wide and hollow, and for a split second I saw every version of our life flash through her expression. Love, betrayal, disbelief, all colliding in one unbearable instant. Her suitcase dropped to the floor with a thud. What is this?" she whispered. I didn't answer right away. How could I? There was no excuse that wouldn't sound like poison coming out of my mouth. The woman next to me, her friend Jenna, sat frozen under the blanket, her face pale, lips trembling. "It's not what it looks like," she stammered, the oldest lie in the book. But it was. It was exactly what it looked like. Only the story didn't begin there. It started 3 nights earlier when my wife told me she was staying over at Bryan's place. Her old college buddy. She said it like it was nothing, like I shouldn't even blink. "It's just me, Bryan, and a few friends from work," she'd said, avoiding my eyes as she threw clothes into an overnight bag. "You don't mind, right?" I wanted to. God, I wanted to mind. But I didn't say it. I just nodded like the trusting fool I'd become. We'd been distant for months. Conversations felt forced, dinners silent. I thought maybe this little trip would help her unwind. Maybe we'd find our way back afterward. But that night, as I stared at the empty space beside me in bed, something in my gut whispered that she wasn't where she said she was. When she didn't answer my calls, that whisper turned into a scream. I spent hours scrolling through her messages. Nothing suspicious. But it's the absence of evidence that burns the most. Silence where there should be something. The next morning Jenna stopped by. She and my wife had been inseparable since college. Sisters in everything but blood. She'd always been around, always laughed at my dumb jokes, always looked at me a second longer than she should have. She noticed my mood immediately. "Rough night?" she asked softly. "Yeah," I admitted. "She's at Bryan's. Didn't pick up when I called." Jenna's expression darkened. "Bryan, huh? That guy always made my skin crawl." I gave a weak laugh. "You think something's going on?" She hesitated, biting her lip. "I don't want to say anything without proof, but," she trailed off, shaking her head. "You deserve better than someone who treats your trust like it's disposable." Her words sat with me all day, festering. By evening, I'd convinced myself my wife was with him, not just as a friend. I saw it in flashes, her laughing at his jokes, his hand brushing hers, her lips finding his. Tore me apart. So when Jenna poured us each a glass of wine that night, I didn't stop her. When she put a hand on my arm and told me I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't the problem, I didn't pull away. "You don't deserve this," she whispered. "You give her everything, and she still looks somewhere else." "I don't even know if that's true," I muttered half to myself. "Then why are you hurting?" The question hung in the air. One thing led to another, too fast and too slow all at once. Touch became a kiss. Kiss became something else. I told myself it was revenge, a way to reclaim the dignity she'd stripped from me. But that was a lie. It wasn't revenge. It was desperation. I wanted to feel wanted again. I wanted to forget that the woman I loved might be in another man's arms. But when it was over, when the silence crept back in, I felt sick. Jenna looked at me like she'd just realized what we'd done, like she wished she could rewind time. "She can never know," she whispered. I nodded because I couldn't face the truth either. For 2 days, I tried to pretend it hadn't happened. My wife texted once. "Home tomorrow morning." No heart emoji. No warmth. Just words. The morning she came back, I didn't expect her so early. The front door opened quietly like she was sneaking in. Jenna had crashed at our place again. Said she wanted to make sure I was okay. I didn't think much of it until I woke to the sound of footsteps and the faint gasp that followed. And there she was. Her face went pale, her body stiffening as she took in the sight. Her best friend in our bed, the sheets tangled, the betrayal laid bare. "Get out," she said, her voice shaking. Jenna tried to speak. "Please let me explain." "Get out." Jenna scrambled for her clothes, tears spilling down her cheeks. When she brushed past my wife on her way out, my wife didn't even look at her. The door slammed behind her, leaving just the two of us. "You slept with her?" she asked, her voice raw, trembling. I swallowed hard. "I thought you were with Bryan." Her expression twisted in confusion. "With Bryan? Are you serious?" I couldn't meet her eyes. "You said you were staying there." "I was," she said, voice breaking. "With his wife and their kids. We had a group barbecue, I slept in the guest room, I sent you photos. You never even replied." Her words hit me like a punch to the chest. I remembered the texts now, the ones I'd ignored while drinking with Jenna, too lost in my own resentment to see what was real. "Oh my God," I whispered. She laughed bitterly, wiping at her eyes. "You thought I was cheating on you, so you went and slept with my best friend? Do you have any idea what you've done?" "I made a mistake," I said, my voice barely holding. "I thought." "You thought," she snapped. "You didn't think. You assumed. You punished me for something I didn't do." Her tears came harder now, and for the first time I realized this wasn't just betrayal, it was annihilation. I had destroyed everything not because she cheated but because I believed she could. "I'm sorry," I whispered, the words useless even as they left my mouth. She stared at me for a long time, eyes empty. "Sorry doesn't fix this." And she was right. She left that night. No screaming, no second chances, no promises to work things out. Just silence, the kind that follows something irreversible. In the weeks that followed, I replayed that night over and over. Every sound, every word, every choice. I realized that betrayal isn't always about what someone does to you. Sometimes it's about what you convince yourself they're capable of. I hadn't just lost her trust. I'd lost my own. And now, every time I see the empty space where her suitcase used to sit, I remember the look in her eyes when she saw us. Shock, sorrow, and something worse than hatred. Recognition. She didn't just see us in that bed. She saw the truth I refused to face. That I'd become the very thing I feared most.